Okay, hi everybody. Since I made yesterday's decluttering video and just telling you where I was at, it's occurred to me that I want to give a general lowdown on how I feel about decluttering and what it means and how I look at it and how it's helped me. So decluttering to some people sounds like, first of all, it sounds like it's something. It's, detoxing, decluttering, it sounds like you have to let go of things that you want to have. Like you can't have your chocolate chip cookies, or you can't have that thing that you want to keep, or whatever, all your stuff. And what I'm suggesting and how I look at it is I want to welcome in what is current for me now. And what is current for me now is different than 18 years ago when I used to be a mural painter. And I'm using paints as the example because it's just what's happening yesterday and today. So decluttering is a way to stay current. It's a way to have more space, right, in your home. Obviously, in your home, in your precious real estate that is your home, in your bedroom, in your closet, in your drawers, in your when you have room, you can appreciate the things you love and use and wear more because you can see them. When I decluttered my closet, I appreciate my clothes more because I know everything in my closet is something that I will wear and love. So for example, if you're not sure about if you should get rid of an item or not, try it on for size. Literally try it on for size, and if it's clothes, go out into the world and see if it feels right to be out in it. There's been times where I think I should wear something because I haven't worn it in a while, and I go out and I'm like, this just didn't feel good. I'd rather have less that feels good and feels current than more just to have more. So that's one thing. And it's a way to look at it is that you're not giving away toys. If you're not a little kid giving away your toys and, oh my gosh, I have to give away my toys. You're letting go of these things so you can, I was painting, so you can welcome in, you're letting go of things so you can welcome in something better that you can't even imagine yet, or that you can imagine. You give away 10 junky purses that you've collected throughout the years, and magically you'll have room for that one special one that you like, or shoes, or art supplies, or books. Or I find that if it's like almost like the things are like people. They're like they hold energy, and they hold energy of the experiences you had when you were wearing them, the experiences you had when someone gave them to you, and sometimes they're really, really good. So there's a woman who just posted a comment, and she said, I'm looking at 10 years of things from my mother and my grandmother, and where do I draw the line? What do I do? Well, that's a hard one. When people have passed on, what do you do? I will tell you a story. I did that with my mother's belongings, and I knew that I didn't want to keep a lot. I always look at things like, well, if I were going to move, what would I take with me? And if I wouldn't take it with me, I pretty much don't want to live with it. That's how much extreme sport decluttering I've done and how far I've gone. And so the scarf was this beautiful Indian scarf. We used to like to go Indian clothes shopping, and we would buy these things and not really wear them. We just love them. And she didn't wear the scarf, and one day she sent it to me, and it was the one she picked out, and it was the colors that were right for her, and it was gorgeous. But I was like, I'm never gonna wear this. I tried to hang it on my window as a window covering. I tried to drape it over a lamp. Then one day I put it over a table. Then one day I put it in a box, in a bag. And I'm looking at this scarf, and I say, if I get rid of this scarf, how will I remember that my mom and I used to go India clothes shopping? And then on More with Dara, the membership site, where you can get more with me, lots more videos. There's 500 videos waiting there that you haven't seen. And I saw my friend Lauren had posted a picture of her daughter at a fair. She was at a fair, and behind her daughter and herself there was 2 women in Indian saris. And I laughed to myself. I thought, of course I'm always going to remember my mom. There's always going to be saris out in the world. There's always going to be images and food from India. So that was my message from the universe. It's okay to let it go. So if you get a sign like that, great. If you don't, you can take a picture of it, whatever it is, so that you have the memory of it. And if you really love it, if it makes you feel really good having it, then you keep it. But if it's something like, you know, someone had a hard time getting rid of a mink coat, but it was her mother's, and, you know, how could she get rid of it? And then she finally was able to, with some support, she was able to get rid of it, and she's so glad that she did. So we don't lose the memories of our loved ones when we give away their things. They, I'm quite sure, want us to be living a life that's clean, clear, and bright, and welcoming in opportunities. So having something on a shelf, in a box, you know, I did save a box of my daughter's artwork, an artwork that we have done together. I've saved photographs, not all of them, but I've saved them. Whichever ones I threw out, I took pictures of them in case it helped me in the process of letting go. Will I ever go back and look at them? Probably not. So, the benefits, I'll tell you the paint story in a minute, but the benefits of decluttering are grand. It's the first thing you do. I practice feng shui. I studied feng shui with my teacher, Carol Cannon, and I learned a lot from her back in the day when I was studying. And the first thing, it's fun to know feng shui and know where the areas of your home that correlate to the areas of your life are, because then you can have aha moments like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was saving all that junk in my love area, or I had trash in my wealth area, or I have, you know, a stuck door that won't open in my career area. So I am going to recommend The Western Guide to Feng Shui by Tara Catherine Collins, because that book will give you a map to place over your home or over your room so you can see. But if you don't want to go that far, the first thing that we do, that we want to do in Feng Shui, is to start decluttering. They say 9 items a day is a good way to start. Do that for 27 days and your life will change. So decluttering does this thing. It's the precursor to feng shui, or the thing you do while you're learning feng shui, and it really makes the chi, the energy. Everything's energy. We're energy. Every object has energy. It makes the chi in your home. Our bodies have chi. It makes the chi able to flow. So the less you have on the floor, the better. The more you can sweep, the more you can wipe the surface of a table. If there's lots of stuff stuck, you're less likely to pick up the things, dust all the items, put them back. And the chi gets stuck there, energy gets stuck. So that's one thing. The other thing is that when we hold on to something that isn't serving us or makes us feel poor, bad, sad, whatever it is, we have to keep that old ripped something because we think we can't afford another one. We're telling the universe that we can't afford another one, that we are not able to do that. So the premise is, the idea is that you get rid of the sofa, you leave the space, you sit on the floor, and sometimes miraculously within days, someone can offer you a sofa, or you can find one on Craigslist, or you figure out how to get one, and you're making space. Right? The same thing goes for relationships. The same thing goes for, it's the principle. You create a vacuum and something fills it. You empty it out and something takes its place. So the benefits go, their opportunities come in, business opportunities, people, pleasurable items and things and ideas. You have more room for creativity, you have more energy, and I do believe we lose weight. We get to our optimal weight anyway when we start to let go of things that don't serve, be they food or be they belongings. Just the act of going through it is keeping you busy, so you're not focused on food anyway. You're focused on, how can I make my life better? It's such a good way to make our lives better. I almost can't even describe it. It's almost like, eat raw food for 2 weeks, see how you feel. Declutter for 2 weeks, see how it feels. It becomes kind of addicting in a really good way. So the paint story. I've done a lot of things in my life. I have done a lot of different things. Maybe one day I'll make a video of all the different things I've tried and learned, and one of them was painting. And I do all kinds of painting, old master reproductions and things like that. I would do paintings for myself, but I was hired to do commissioned work. I would do murals, or I would paint paintings for over people's sofas. I would paint beautiful images on furniture. I did trompe l'oeil and faux finishing and gilding and things on ceilings, the whole thing. And It was always something that my grandmother loved that I did. She said, it's like you dance when you paint. And my mother always loved when I painted. She had a store and she sold all of my things in Short Hills, New Jersey. And it was something that I always did. It was a way that I could support myself without having a job. As a projector in human design, if you haven't figured yours out yet, go to mybodygraph.com. And as a projector, I was able to set my own time, work when I felt like it, be happy. Painting on walls, painting on things was joyful. But I forgot that the painting that I did when I just wanted to express myself sometimes wasn't always. Sometimes it would work out well, sometimes it didn't feel that great. And I was just reminded of that. So I have a beautiful basket of these beautiful color paints from Nova Color, acrylics. And I'm talking about acrylic painting, not watercolors, because watercolors is like my play. I love to doodle and sketch and things like that. But the acrylics haven't been used in a long time. But I have this box of them, and I have paintbrushes, and I have little canvases and boards, and the boards need to be gessoed. I forgot about that. I was looking at the boards, and they need to be ground. You put a ground on the wood or the unfinished wood or masonite so that the paint doesn't get absorbed into the wood. It makes the painting last longer. And so I thought, I want to give away my paints. Like, they're sitting there staring at me, and it's annoying because they're across from my desk. They're sitting there and they're saying, well, are you going to paint? Why don't you have a paint party? Have your friends over. Why don't you paint something? Paint something for your dad. Paint something. And I'm thinking, but I need to do videos and I want to do writing, and that's not what I do now. So I've been having this kind of dialogue with the paints, which is a really strange thing. And I thought, wow, this is really like taking up some space. And I'll give it another week, but it seems to me like this is taking up space and energy and time up here. It's not so much the space in here, but it is taking up space. It's more like my dialogue with the thing that's here. And I said, you know what? I'll know within a week. I'll give myself a week. So I went to Moon Juice and I saw a friend there, and I was telling her that I was decluttering. And I think I said this yesterday, but the story goes further. So I mentioned it, and she said, oh, if you're ever giving away your paints, I would love them. I really have been feeling the need to be creative that way, and I've just been feeling like that's something I need to do. So I said, done, we'll do that. I woke up this morning and I thought, why am I giving away the paints? Shouldn't I paint? Like, the paints are here. Why am I giving away the paints? So I said, okay, Dara, paint and see how it feels. So within the first 20 minutes, I painted this bright, colorful thing. I put it on Snapchat, and then I kept going, and I added white. And the white, to me, just ruined everything. And I was reminded how painting, for me, is such a tricky thing. You have to know when to stop. It's a form of expression. If you work something too hard, it can be ruined. Watercolors, I know that. You put the watercolor brush stroke down, you cannot keep going over it or you will ruin it. It muddies the color because the paper starts picking up. With acrylics, you can keep going, and it's just, you can overwork something, and that balance of, am I good at, is this right? How do I want this? And then you go too far. So I'm like, why do I need this? When I make a video, I'm done. I don't go back over it. I can't fix it. It's kind of like, this is my medium. Expression, writing, blogging, photographing food, making food, that seems to be my joy and my mission, because when I do this kind of expression, I can help people, and my paintings are just, they should be fun and be helping me or not. So I was like, you know what, this isn't for me. So I thought that was a really great practice. I tried it on for size, got some paint on me, gonna have to wash the brushes, pack up the paints, and she's gonna come pick them up later, and I will give them to her with great joy, knowing that there's no failure in not doing something that's just not speaking to you right now. It doesn't mean that in 5 years I won't set up an easel and that will be my thing, and I'll be painting and I'll be covered with paint. I used to love being covered with paint and overalls and getting up on the wall and painting. It's just not what I'm doing now. So try it on for size, try on the thing, look at the one thing and say, what's the woman who wrote the book, The Con Marie Method? Does it spark joy? And if you can't know if it sparks joy, if you're not having that feeling, I use my pendulum and hang it over it, and if it gives me a yes, I keep it. If it gives me a no, I let it go. Maybe you could have a friend with you and talk it out, get some help, and know that by letting go of things, you're not letting go of love. By letting go of those belongings, you're not disrespecting anybody. Because I think about my daughter, I'm like, would she really want those stacks of things and boxes of things? I don't think that will be interesting to her. I do save things that will be interesting. Sometimes I say, honey, do you want me to save this? Yes, save that. So I save it for her. So ask the child, ask the friend, ask yourself, ask, does this make me happy? Does it make me feel good? Does it hold really good memories? And if it does, cherish it. Put it out. Put it in a beautiful place. Or put it in a little box, a pink box, and it's neat and saved for you. But chances are we need less than we think we do, because all this time that I've been decluttering, it's layers and layers, and now I just want it to be more and more done. So I think the more we're willing to let go, the more we will receive. And I've been experiencing that in my business, because I let go of somebody that wasn't working, and it was a really hard thing to do, and I had to manage a lot of things that he did myself, and it was horrible. It was the reason that I didn't get to make a lot of videos this past year, because I had to manage things. It was like, he was like my business husband. He did all the business things. He's like, you're the talent, you do the talent stuff, and I'll take care of everything else. Well, I wasn't having access to all the everything else, and it made me a little nervous. Like, you can't have somebody else handling your business and nobody else knowing how to do it. What if something happens? So that relationship had to end, that business relationship had to end, and then I was left doing everything myself. And it was hard to do everything. It was not really ideal and not bringing me great joy. So because I've done all this decluttering, amazing people. Brooks is one of them. He's creating a whole new More with Dara. It's a whole new site that's about to open. We're switching everybody over. It's like a brand new camp that's just beautiful. And he's doing things transparently, help professionally. And I do believe that one of the reasons that he came in is because I was ready, because I decluttered this whole studio from jewelry, and I said, okay, I'm willing to focus. I'm willing to do the business part, and I don't like it, but I'm willing. And I will clear out whatever is unnecessary in my life so that I can focus to do the things that I'm meant to do. So giving the paints away is saying to the universe, I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna walk this talk. I'm going to get rid of something or gift it to someone else that isn't really in line with my soul's purpose. And I do believe you find what your soul's purpose is when you start decluttering and detoxifying. So it goes hand in hand. It's the raw food and it's the decluttering, and you start to hear what your heart is saying. You start to hear the messages from out there. These are the things that are hard to describe unless you just do it. So I'm highly encouraging you to throw away 9 things a day, to eat 1 soup or 1 smoothie each day. Get my Soups and Smoothies ebook and make one of those things every day, and your life will change. People like Brooks will come into your life. New situations, new furniture, new clothes, new experiences. So that's what I wanted to say. I love you guys, and I will be up in the kitchen soon. Right now, Moon Juice is feeding me. I'm going to Moon Juice, drinking their juice, and not having to be in the kitchen so I could finish this whole decluttering, so then I can just focus, make recipe videos, do all the things that I really love to do. So I hope that inspires and motivates. You know where I'm at. I'm packing things up. This weekend's my weekend to finish. So wish me luck. I love you guys, and I wish you luck.